Hello everybody, it's your girl Tiamorra and I'm back at it again with another video for you guys. So today's video is all about Juvias palettes. If you love Juvias palettes and you have been confused on what palette to get and which palette to not get and all of that jazz, you're definitely at the right spot. If this is your first time stopping by my channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, join the family. Also, don't forget to turn on the notification bell so every time I upload a video, you get notified. And for all of my subscribers, I love y'all so much. So without talking too much, we're gonna jump right into the video and pretty much go through all the Juvias palettes, and I'm gonna let you guys know which one you should buy, which one you should not buy, and all of that jazz. Alright, so let's dive in. I'm going to start off with the Nubian one. And forgive me guys, I know my palettes kind of look messy, but please forgive me. I use these palettes like a little too much. This is what it looks like. So for this particular palette, this is one of my favorite Juvias palettes, and simply because as you can see from this palette has like all the neutral colors. I feel like this particular palette is a must-have. If you have if you're a neutral girl, you don't like too much colors and you just want something that you can, you know, just a little bit of something to still look good and everything, you should totally 100% absolutely get this particular palette. It's so beautiful. It has a range of golds. It has like a rose goldy gold, an actual gold, a brownish gold, burgundy shimmer, and then this really nice unique color right here. I love it. And then this color right here, unfortunately you guys can't really see it, but I'm gonna swatch it for you guys. This is literally my favorite color, and this one right here, and it's almost done. It's not done because it fell out, it's done because I actually use it. That's my favorite color, and I really love it so much because this is the only color I literally put in my inner tear duct. Like 90% of the time, any color you see in my inner tear duct is this color right here. I'm gonna swatch it for you guys so you can see what it looks like. So that's what the color looks like. It's a really nice pink champagne-y color. It's so unique. I haven't been able to see this particular color in any other eyeshadow palette. I know some people probably say, yeah, you can find it in another eyeshadow palette, but trust me, I've literally looked and compared this shade with so many other shades in different eyeshadow palettes and I can't get it. But anyways, this is a very practical eyeshadow palette. If you want one eyeshadow, if you want to buy just one eyeshadow palette from Juvias Place, I think maybe you should buy this one simply because, well, if you're a neutral girl and you want to buy just one eyeshadow palette, I think buy this one because you can make neutral looks with this, you can make dramatic looks with this, you can do bridal showers, birthday looks, whatever you want to do, you can do. This is like one eyeshadow look palette, yeah. So you can basically create like so many different looks with just this palette alone. So I will highly recommend and suggest the Nubian one. The next palette I'm going to be talking about is the Nubian II. This is what this palette looks like. As you can see, there's a range of colors. Not really a range of colors, but there's a good amount of colors in here. This is the second palette that I would definitely say if you want to buy a palette that you can create like so many different looks just using the palette, I will highly also recommend this one, simply because it has like a really nice dark brown shade for a definition color. You have like these really three good crease colors. And this burgundy purplish shade is really cute. It's like my favorite shade in this palette. You have like some really nice shimmers for pops of colors, and then you have just neutral shimmers as well. This is like a really good palette in general. Like I will highly recommend this palette. Like you could do like a matte look with this, like just a simple one color matte eyeshadow look with this color, with that color to be neutral. Like this is an amazing palette in itself. You can definitely travel with this palette alone and come up with several different makeup looks. So this is another palette that I would say you should 100% buy if you're considering buying it. This is also a must-have in my opinion. The next palette I'm going to be talking about is the Afrique palette. Alright, so these are the colors. These are the colors that come in this palette. Alright, so with this particular palette, I would say you don't necessarily have to get it if you don't want to get it. And the reason I'm saying this is because the colors are so random. I don't necessarily see a defining color, a color that you could use to like for definition on your eyes. For your crease, there honestly, Unless you like to play with random colors, I wouldn't really recommend this palette. I feel like this is just an addition to your collection. If you're somebody like me that you just have to have all of the palettes, go ahead and buy it. But to be honest with you, I don't think this is a necessity. This particular palette is not a necessity. Are the pigments good? Really good, obviously. I did use this blue, and weirdly, the blue, the green, and the yellow, I kind of had a little bit of issues with, especially the blue and green. It was a little weird. I'm not sure, but the consistency of these three colors are kind of weird in this palette. Like the yellow, I have to pack on a little bit more than normal, or compared to all the other palettes. This is my least favorite palette of all of their palettes. This is generally my least favorite. I genuinely think you don't need it. These colors are colors you can find in like other palettes. This is another gold. You can obviously find that. This color is unique, to be honest, but it's like, who really uses it? I don't know. If you ask me, I don't think you need this palette. Alright, so this is what the Deuce looks like. I really love the packaging. It's so nice and soft. And I like the fact that it has the picture on the outside in here as well. This palette honestly is like a jewel tone palette. I feel like this is not a necessity as well. If you would want to buy it, absolutely go ahead and buy it. But what I will tell you is, because of this color, this is a good transition color. These two are really good transition colors. And then this is a good defining color. And then all of these, you can literally play around with these. To be honest, you can generally go make way with this palette alone by itself. For instance, if I had to create a look, I would do this in the crease, this in the crease, this two in the crease, this as a definition color, and then like start off with this, and then end up with that. You know, all over the lid. I mean the three shimmers in the lid, and then probably use this for my inner tear duct. So to be honest, you can really use this palette on its own, but is it the most practical palette? Not exactly. So in my opinion, it's not a necessity either, but this is a very, very beautiful palette. Next palette is the Magic palette. I really, really love the concept of this palette. This is one of my favorite Juvias Place palettes. Let me open it up for you guys. Just looking at the palette already, you can get the idea that they're trying to give us. Like one side, like the whole bottom section is like nighttime, and then the top section is like daytime, and I really, really like it. And this is one of those palettes that I feel like you can absolutely travel with on its own, and you can create so many different eyeshadow looks with this particular palette. I can't even start to name it right now, but if you're somebody that likes to wear just like matte eyeshadows, you can definitely do like the one eyeshadow matte looks. Like you can use just this color, you can use just that color, you can use that color, you can use that. Like it's just a beautiful palette, or you can use just that color. I love this color right here. It's like a lemon gold. I just love it. It's so rich and beautiful. All the colors in this palette are so pigmented, and to be honest with you guys, if you want a palette that you can do neutral looks with, as well as like really colorful dramatic looks with as well, I would highly suggest you get this palette. For me, I feel like this is a must-have, because you have like a bunch of colors in it and a huge variety of colors to mess around with. So I would absolutely recommend this. This is a must-have. The next palette is my favorite Juvias Place palette, the Zulu palette. If you're a neutral girl and you don't like to play with colors, I wouldn't recommend you buy this palette. If you are a colorful girl and you like to play around with lots of colors and all of that, I will highly suggest this palette. This is one of the most pigmented palettes with yellow, orange, and, well, not necessarily purple, but these three colors right here. This is the first time I'm using a palette that these colors come so true. Like they actually apply true to its color in the pan. Normally on dark skin, or at least for myself, most of these colors don't show up in a lot of palettes, but this palette right here is a true one. Like these colors actually show up on me. Like look at my eyes right now. It's beautiful, it's amazing. It's just if you love colors, please buy this palette. Like, you're gonna love it. I promise you, you're not gonna regret it at all. This is an amazing palette. This is a yes, yes, yes for me, absolutely. But then again, like I said, if you're not really into colors and all that, maybe you shouldn't get it. Next palette is the Masquerade palette, and this is one of my top favorite palettes as well. And looking inside, you can see why. The package, I like when they have the package, this drawing inside. I don't know why, but I just really fancy it. So it has that, and then look at the color selection in here. It's so amazing. This is another palette that you can absolutely travel with on its own. And like, I promise you, if you're looking for one of the palettes from Juvias Place to buy and not have to buy like a second or a third one, I will highly recommend this as well. Like, I know I'm saying I will highly recommend, but I promise you guys, like, Juvias Place, like, they're so affordable, and like the color payoff is just the pigment. I don't know how to tell you guys, but like true talk, like true talk. Okay, this is amazing. This palette is just beautiful. It has like a good range of pinks and purple tones, red tones, browns. It has some golds, some nice shimmer golds. This is like a really nice inner tier color as well. It has like a range of colors here, a pop of color. Pretty much, you can use this palette to come up with like any look at all. Like, scratch whatever I said. If you want to buy just one palette from Juvias Place, please buy this palette. Please buy this particular palette, especially if you don't mind colors. Please buy this particular palette, because I promise you, you can make any look with this palette. You can create any look, like a matte look, a neutral matte look, a dramatic, colorful matte look, whatever you want. This palette is bomb. Like, definitely buy this palette. Buy it. Next palette is the Warrior. Is the Warrior palette. So with this palette, I love the packaging so much. Like, this out here is just goes on every level. Like some of the other palettes, it doesn't really have the picture on here, and I'm like, I really want it right there, but not a big deal. In all honesty, if you're a neutral girl, maybe, but even still, I don't feel like this is the most amazing palette, you know. It's just like, I don't really know what to say about it. Yes, you can create lots of gold looks with it, but then again, like, unless you're really very natural girl and you just want gold looks, fine, you can go ahead with this. But my problem is, I don't see a lot of transition colors in here. Like for this color, I don't exactly think I'm a fan of it. I would use it if I want to do like a very neutral eyeshadow look. Probably mix this and then do a little bit of lightly pat that in my crease and put this all over my lid and just put like a wing liner maybe. But in all honesty, I don't really see how I'm gonna come up with a look with this palette alone. I can barely see myself like creating several looks with this palette. I could probably come up with like a few looks, but not anything that I'm gonna be proud of or super happy about. So I don't really, this palette is definitely like you don't really need this palette, to be honest. But in combination with other palettes, maybe yes. But this palette on its own, I don't really think so. If you ask me, don't buy this palette. Generally, do not buy it, in my opinion. Alright, so this palette right here is the Saharan Blush Volume 1. And to be honest with you guys, I don't know why this is called a blush palette. Let me open it for you guys. Look at this. Look at the color range. I wouldn't use this to blush. I'm not gonna use that to blush. I'm not gonna use this to blush. Definitely not. I'm like, who would use that to blush? I don't know. This is a little too bright to blush, but I can get away with it. This is probably the only color in here that I think I might use to blush. This would be contour. This would probably be like an addition to contour, or maybe I can mix these two and blush with it. And then for highlighters, I'm not necessarily gonna, I don't think I will necessarily use any of those two colors to highlight because they're not really my kind of highlighting colors. But to be honest, for eyeshadow, this palette is bomb. I'm just gonna tell you guys straight up, this is a very beautiful eyeshadow palette. I know it's a blush palette, but I'm just gonna say eyeshadow palette because in all reality, that's what I use it for. I use it for eyeshadow because I think that's what it's meant to be used for. I don't know why they call it a blush palette because I don't really know what blush I'm blushing on from this palette, but this palette is what I used to do my eyes today. I use this color and this color, these two colors in my crease, even though you might not see it. And then in combination with this palette as well, these are the two palettes I use for my eyeshadow look today. Okay, but anyways, this palette is a yes, yes, yes. Buy this palette, buy it. And this is one of the other palettes where I can definitely say, if you're somebody that you just want, if you want one palette that you can travel with, I would absolutely say buy this palette. Because guess what, you can do this first in your crease, blend this out a little bit in your crease as well, use this as a definition color, and then put this all over your lid. Or you can put this all over your lid, or you can put all of this all over your lid with these two in your, with 1, 2, 3 in your crease, and then this all over your lid. Or you can do 1, 2 in your crease, this as a definition color, this all over your lid. Or this in your crease, this as a definition color, these two in your crease, and this all over your lid. Like honestly, there's so many looks you can create from this particular palette. Or if you want to do like a single matte eyeshadow look, you can do this matte, this one, that one. If you want to do like a dark look, you can probably do this in the crease and do that. Honestly, there's so many looks you can create with this blush palette. I'm not exactly sure why they call it an eyeshadow palette, but this is literally, this is one of my top 5 favorite Juvias Place palettes. I love it so much. I think it's so, I don't want to say versatile, but probably in my opinion it is, because I could travel with this palette alone and come up with so many different looks. So I absolutely love this palette. I think it's a must buy. I think you should definitely 100% buy this. The next palette I'll be showing you guys is the Saharan Blush Volume 2. And this is what it looks like. Now, to be brutally honest, this looks more like a blush palette because I can totally see myself maybe mixing these two and use it as blush. I can absolutely see myself using this nice orangey color as a blush. I wouldn't use that as a highlighter, neither will I use that, and I wouldn't use these as blushes either. Maybe I could use them as blush toppers, but honestly I don't like shimmer blushes at all. I already have highlighter that's shimmery on my cheeks. I don't need my blush to be shimmery as well, so I'm not a fan of shimmery blushes. These 1, 2, 3 shades are probably the only shades I can use in here to blush, and to be realistic, this is not a blush palette in my opinion. Again, this would definitely serve as a really good eyeshadow palette. Could this be used by itself? Probably not, but then again I would say this is a nice palette to have. It's not a must-have, and I wouldn't condemn this palette either, but I think it's a nice to have. The next palette I'm gonna talk about is the Warrior II, and this is an all matte palette. I haven't gotten a chance to use this palette yet because I just received it like 3 days ago, so I haven't had the opportunity to use this palette yet. But here's what I'm going to tell you guys about this palette. When it comes to this palette, I would definitely say if you're a neutral girl and you don't like too much colors, you can buy both of these palettes. This is the Warrior 1 and the Warrior 2. So if you want to buy this palette so badly, or you want to buy this palette so badly, I'll probably say buy both of these together and you will make lots of use. Like, you can use both of these and come up with so many different looks. But on this one by itself, I don't think you're going to come up with a lot. But this by itself, trust me, you can come up with so much. The first time I saw this eyeshadow palette, I was like, you look boring. Honestly, I wouldn't use you. But the more I looked at it, it's like you can come up with so many different looks, so many different matte eyeshadow looks. This palette can offer that for you, can offer that to you. If you don't like shimmers and you just want an all matte palette, buy this. 100% buy this. It's not one of my favorite palettes from Juvia's Place, but I would recommend this palette because I feel like an all matte palette is a necessity to everybody, because half the time, to be brutally honest, we only wear shimmers in our lid. Nobody wears shimmers in their crease. Maybe some people do, but normally we only wear shimmers on our lid. And I feel like this particular palette is really great for and all, like literally, I think you could travel with this palette on its own and come up with several different looks, especially if you're somebody that doesn't like shimmer eyeshadows at all. So this eyeshadow palette I would recommend, but like I said, it's not one of my favorites, but I would recommend it. If you do want to buy it, go ahead and buy it, because I think it's a really good palette to have. And oh, I did go ahead and swatch the colors, and they're really beautiful. They do come out true to color. So I'll go ahead and swatch one for you guys. Let's swatch this middle shade right here. And then I'm just gonna swatch it on the back of my hand. this is like a really beautiful orangey color. The next eyeshadow palette I'm gonna be talking about is the Saharan palette. This is what the Saharan palette looks like, and this is what it looks like inside. So this is one of those palettes that I guess I like it, to be honest. I really like it, but it's not one of my favorites out of Juvia's place. I wouldn't tell anybody that, oh my god, you must have this palette, you know. I think it's a beautiful palette. I used it a lot. That I can give it to this palette. I've used it a whole freaking lot because yes, I love all of my Juvia's Place palettes. This isn't a necessity. You can absolutely buy it. I mean, it's an okay palette. I don't hate it. I don't love it so much, but I can definitely tell you that you can create so many different looks with this. But my only problem why I personally don't like this palette by itself is because it doesn't have a lot of transition colors that I would like to use. Because what tends to happen whenever I want to use this palette on its own is I tend to either use this or that in my crease, you know. And I don't exactly want my crease to always be like orange reddish all the time, so that's my problem with this. I think it lacks transition colors, and that's the main reason why I would say you don't really need to buy this palette. It's not a necessity, to be honest, but if you do want to go ahead and buy it, absolutely, but it's not a necessity. And the very last Juvia's Place palette I'm going to be talking about is the Festival palette. Okay, so when this palette launched, I saw the packaging and I was so excited, and I knew that, oh my god, this is beautiful, this is beautiful, this is beautiful. I can't wait to see what it has inside. And then I open it, and then I see this. Once again, if you're looking for a palette that you will use on its own, do not buy this. You don't need this palette. It's not a necessity at all. Do not buy the palette. What I will tell you though, on the other hand, is that I love this palette, and why I personally love the palette is because of this color, that color, this color, and that color. So pretty much this line, like this, is why I love this palette. Now with these colors right here, I feel like I could live without the colors. I feel like this color is just weird. This color is a nice color, but I just think it's so weird. I don't care for it. I don't care for this color either. This color is a nice transition color, but I don't care for it either. This blue, I use it because I have it. You know, I will make use of it, but I can live without the color. Like all of these right here, I can live without them, okay? Now these ones, I don't think I can live without, because especially this top row is just heaven in a palette, okay? I wish they could have cut off these colors, these 4 colors, and made this palette a bigger palette and add these 4 colors in it. Like, let me push this closer so you guys can actually see. Look at this red. It's so rich and so beautiful. And then this color over here is just like so amazing. This right here is like amen. And then this, such a beautiful inner tear dot color. Like, I can totally see myself doing like a matte red, like a popping matte red look, and using this as my inner tear dot color. Like, but in all reality, you really do not need this palette. Don't buy this palette. You don't need it. Don't buy it. Okay guys, so now I'm gonna talk about the very last palette, and I'm looking at my phone, so please permit me, because I don't have the palette yet. The very last palette I want to talk about, and I'm gonna put it up on the screen for you guys. I don't know if I'm gonna pop it up there or up here, is the Tri palette. Okay, so when it comes to the Tri palette, I love this palette so much. Like, in all reality, it's not the most practical palette for an everyday girl, but I love the palette so freaking much. The neon green in the palette is just every freaking thing. And then the other green, the light army green color is, I don't know if that's army green, but let's just say a light, bright army green color. Is so beautiful. The 2 top greens at the top of the palette are amazing, and then a bright orange, of course, is just everything as well. The orange shimmer at the bottom, I love it. The shimmery gold color, I absolutely love that as well. The white shimmery color, I can definitely use that as a inner tear dot color, and then I like the fact that it has a brown in it as well. Lastly, the glittery greenish color, shimmer greenish color is just beautiful. Like, this palette, I don't know. I love colors so much that I would actually rock this palette so freaking much once I get it. I ordered it and I don't have it yet, so I'm not able to show you guys, but 100% guys, get this palette if you like colors. But to be realistic with you guys, I would say this is not a necessity palette. Like, you don't need the palette. You can absolutely buy it and you will make good use of it, but I think it's not necessary at all. The very first time I saw the Tri palette, I was like, oh my god, the Zulu palette is gonna be your best friend. And I can't wait to travel with both of them together on trips during the summer and during the spring and come up with like the most beautiful looks ever. But I think these two palettes together are gonna make, you're gonna come up with the most beautiful looks. Juvias Place is a really affordable brand, and I think it's so crazy how their most expensive eyeshadow palette is $25, and I think it's so crazy how they're so cheap, yet their pigments are so true and so amazing, and that's the only reason why I own every single one of them. Because even if I don't like an entire palette, trust me, I would still make use of it, you know? And I just have to have all of their palettes because in all reality, I'm a makeup junkie, I'm an eyeshadow junkie. If you know me, you know I'm so dramatic when it comes to my eyes. I love colors, so Juvias Place definitely gives that to me, and I'm definitely gonna keep buying them. Out of so many bigger brands and expensive brands, I don't really get the same pigment I get from Juvias Place. If you are looking for an eyeshadow brand to stick with, I will highly suggest you take a look at the Juvias Place palettes and probably buy one and try it out, and then trust me, when you buy one, you're definitely gonna go back because they're amazing and they're so affordable. And also look out for their sales, because to Black Friday they had all of the eyeshadow palettes for $11 freaking dollars. Like, it's so crazy. They're already so cheap, so I don't know why they're giving us more discount, but they were for $11. And they randomly have sales like that. And also, if you want to buy a bunch of their palettes at once, they have bundles as well, where like you get like a good sometimes $50, $30 off. And also there are lots of discount codes. I know one discount code I know is Femi. Another discount code I know is Nikki, which is Nikki, and that's for Nikki Tutorials. And then Femi, I don't remember her name. Oh my god, I don't remember, but I know she's Nigerian. That's another coupon code you can use as well, which will give you, I think, 15 or 20% off. So you can add that in addition to whatever you buy. And all of Juvias Place palettes are amazing. All depends on your choice of eyeshadows. That's what I would, like, you know, say go ahead, look through this video and figure out which eyeshadow palettes you want. But once again guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it wasn't too long for you guys, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it was very helpful. And I'll see you guys in my next video. I'll see you guys in my next video, guys. I love y'all. Mwah, mwah, mwah.